10 U.S. cities that are overflowing with Filipinos in 2025. I'm actually excited to see this, man. A lot of you guys have linked this over, said this is a really informative and beautiful video. Check it out. I am excited. Come join me. Let's go.
10 U.S. cities overflowing with Filipinos in 2025. You might be living in one.
Really?
From coast to coast, Filipino communities are thriving across America, bringing culture, flavor, and family-centered values wherever they go.
Please, bring
But in
Lechon.
2025, some cities are seeing Filipino populations grow like never before. So where are these vibrant hubs of Filipino life? From hidden gems to major metro areas, we're counting down the 10 U.S. cities overflowing with Filipino pride, where the food tastes like home, the celebrations never stop, and Bayanihan is alive and well.
Hey, yo, community,
Whether you're
man.
looking to move, reconnect with your roots, or just curious if your city made the list, you're in for a surprise. Stick around because these cities aren't just growing, they're glowing with Pinoy spirit. Have you ever strolled through a city in the US and suddenly thought, hold up, am I still in America? Or did I just land in the Philippines? It's not just a few families moving in here and there.
Yeah.
Filipinos are transforming neighborhoods, turning sleepy suburbs into lively barangays, and city blocks into vibrant mini Manilas.
Holy moly, dude.
Picture this. The mouth-watering aroma of sizzling sisig drifting down the
Sisig.
street, murals splashed with jeepney art, and titas laughing over Halo Halo like it's a weekend
Halo
in
Halo.
Quezon City. Sounds familiar?
Halo, Halo.
It should, because across the country, a cultural wave is rising. So, what's behind this growing Filipino presence in U.S. cities? Why now? What's fueling this powerful migration? And more importantly, which American city has embraced Filipino culture so deeply, it's practically swimming in it? Stick around because if you're Filipino or just obsessed with our food, vibes, and legendary hospitality, you're about to get the inside
Hey,
scoop.
that Lechon.
This isn't just another
Please.
trend, it's a movement.
Sisig.
And trust me, the city at number 1, you won't believe how Filipino it's become. First time here? Mabuhay! You're officially part of the Inside Report, fam. Go ahead and tap that subscribe button. Already
Aye.
with us? Hit that like and let's get rolling. Let me paint you a picture. You're walking through Chicago. The breeze hits you just right. And bam, you catch the unmistakable scent of fried lumpia. You follow your nose, and there it is. A Jollibee with a line wrapped around the block, like it's a
crazy.
concert. Welcome to Filipino America, Windy City Edition. Sure, Chicago's famous for deep dish pizza, the blues, and that sharp lakefront breeze.
Yeah.
But did you know it's also home to one of the largest Filipino communities in the country?
I didn't know that. I did not know
Over
that.
110,000 strong and growing Filipino Chicagoans have been quietly shaping this city.
Is that what you
One
call them,
pot-
Chicagoans? That's kind of crazy. I never even knew that. But I've never been to Chicago. But, yo, I might just have to go, especially if they got that lumpia there, bro. I might need to go there. And Jollibee, man, I've been hearing a lot about Jollibee actually being so incredibly successful. Like, it's just rising and rising, the growth. There's actually a video on that, too, that I think you guys want me to react to, of how much more it's growing. It's incredible, bro. I mean, Jollibee is so good. But you have to go in the Philippines to really try it authentically like I did. I'm telling you, it is the best decision you'll make, period, bro. It's just better in the Philippines, I'm telling you.
of adobo at a time. And let's be honest, Chicago just wouldn't feel the same without them. Ask any local who's been here a while, and when you bring up Filipinos, you'll probably hear one word: nurses. It all traces back to the late 1960s, when U.S. immigration laws opened the door for skilled workers. That wave, it brought thousands of talented, compassionate Filipino healthcare professionals to American cities.
Wow.
And Chicago? It welcomed them with open arms.
Hey, they needed the best.
Fast forward to today,
They got
walk
it.
into any hospital here, and chances are a Filipino nurse is there.
Yeah.
Calm, caring, dedicated. It's not just a job. It's part of the Filipino story in this city. But that's not the whole picture. Filipino Chicago is so much more than hospitals and healthcare. It's vibrant, it's loud, in the best way, and it knows how to throw a party. Ever been to Fiesta Pinoy?
Nope.
It's like stepping into a full-blown street fiesta. traditional barongs, non-stop karaoke where
You guys said that I was like wearing almost this, not this fit, the other fit, the one in the white. You guys said I was almost wearing a clothing like that, and you guys said it looked clean, and you guys almost thought it was this, I think, but no, it wasn't.
Fiesta Pinoy, it's like stepping into a full-blown street fiesta.
That's so cool.
Traditional barongs, non-stop karaoke where your Tito insists he's the next Bruno Mars.
Oh, he is Bruno Mars.
So good it might change
Pancit, ay!
your life. And then there's October, Filipino American History Month. The whole city lights up with cultural pride, from parades to dance performances,
I gotta go.
Food fests to storytelling sessions. It's a celebration of roots, of identity, and of the generations making sure the culture lives on in full color. This is Chicago, yes, the windy city, but it beats with a Filipino rhythm. So if you ever find yourself there, just follow the sound of Tagalog echoing down the street. The scent of garlic fried rice in the
don't
air,
show me that,
and
please.
the warm smiles of a community that's turned this Midwestern metropolis into a second home. Are you from Chicago? Got kabayans in the area? Drop it in the comments. We want to hear from you. Picture this: the sizzle of fresh tocino on a hot pan, the mouth-watering smell of warm pandazol filling the air,
bro?
And the sound of laughter as a group of kabayans jump into an impromptu karaoke showdown outside a Filipino restaurant. No, you're not in Manila. You're in Riverside, San Bernardino, California, where the Filipino community isn't just surviving, it's taking over. With over 116,000 Filipinos calling this place home, it's like a piece of the Philippines was dropped right here in Southern California. But why Riverside? Why not LA or San Diego? Stick around, because you won't want to miss this story. Meet Rika. She's 32, originally from Quezon City, and like so many others, she had two dreams. First, to build a better future in America. Second, to never lose touch with her Filipino roots.
Yeah, best of both.
When she first landed in California, though, reality hit her like a wave. LA was crazy. Rent was through the roof.
Yeah.
And everything felt rushed, foreign. It wasn't the homey vibe she was looking for. She needed a place that felt like home. That's when she found Riverside. Within weeks, Rika was working at a hospital where the break rooms echoed with Tagalog. And potlucks weren't just about food, they were about family. Trays of sinigang, lumpia, and adobo.
They just showed me this to get you hungry.
Always belonged. She moved into an apartment where her neighbors were fellow Filipinos, people who welcomed her in with open arms, inviting her over for lechon every holiday. She wasn't just making it in America, she was thriving. And Rika, she's just one of thousands.
You bring
Nurses,
home with you.
Caregivers, engineers, entrepreneurs.
Yeah, dude.
They've created a Filipino empire right here in Riverside, building a community that feels like home. This is just the beginning. Stick with us, because the journey of the Filipino spirit in America has only just started.
And I think low-key, it's very important to bring a slice of home with you anywhere you go, because without it, you almost feel lost. And I think that's like one of the most crucial things in a human being is kind of being, grounded, feeling grounded, especially feeling. Because sometimes we pay attention to so much physical that you also have to remember, yes, take care of your physical body, but let's also be real. You have to take care of your mental too. And a lot of your mental comes from where you grew up, where you are and who you are as a person, kind of what makes you who you are. And so being around family or things that, at least bring you closer to family in a way can help you drastically, mentally, especially mentally. Like, it is drastically the most helpful thing in the world for you.
Trust me, you'll want to see where it's going next. Step into Riverside, San Bernardino, and you'll feel it the minute you arrive. Every weekend, Seafood City is packed to the brim. Moms haggling over fresh bengus.
Oh my.
Kids begging for chocnut at the checkout counter. Tito-owned restaurants are sizzling with sisig, serving up halo that brings the flavors of home right to every street corner.
Gimme.
Filipino festivals turn entire parks into mini Manilas, complete with tinikling, OPM concerts, and of course, the ultimate lechon showdown. Balikbayan boxes pile up at every LBC shipping center, packed with spam, sneakers, and love letters to family back home. Here, being Filipino isn't just about where you came from, it's about where you are. So, what makes Riverside San Bernardino the ultimate Filipino hub? It's simple: affordable homes, a place where Filipino families can finally buy the house of their dreams. Endless job opportunities, especially in healthcare, tech, and business, make it a prime spot for career growth. But what really sets Riverside apart is the community. There's something special about hearing a friendly "kumusta" from a stranger.
Oh,
It's the kind of warmth that makes you feel at home, no matter where you're from. It's the perfect mix of the American dream and Filipino tradition, where you can build a bright future without leaving your culture behind. And here's the best
that's
part.
beautiful.
Riverside San Bernardino is just the beginning. Next up, we're heading to a city where Filipinos don't just blend in, they own it.
Oh
A
my.
place where the culture runs so deep, it feels like an extension of the Philippines itself.
Oh wow.
Don't even think about clicking away. This story is just getting started. Smash that like button and let's keep this journey rolling. Welcome to Seattle, the city where the rain is constant, the coffee is always brewing strong, and the Filipino presence unshakable.
You just had to say
With
coffee and
nearly
Filipinos, bro. It's over.
126,000 Filipinos
Best.
calling Seattle home, this isn't just a city, it's a vibrant, living extension of the Philippines. Walk through Beacon Hill, and you'll hear Tagalog floating through the air on street corners. Step into a Filipino restaurant in White Center, and the mouth-watering scent of adobo and sinigang will hit you before
Ooh,
you
boy.
even step inside.
I mean, I'm hungry too. Why are you
Visit a
doing
community
this?
gathering in South Seattle, and you'll feel the warmth of Filipino hospitality, the kind that makes you feel like family right away. But here's the kicker: this didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen overnight. Turning Seattle into one of the most vibrant Filipino hubs in America? That took generations of grit, sacrifice, and unshakable spirit. And today, you're about to hear the story behind it all. So, if you haven't already, hit that like button, tap subscribe, and stick around till the end. Because what you're about to learn, you'll want to share this with someone. Let's take it back, way back to the 1920s. Filipino immigrants first arrived in Seattle with barely anything but a dream in their hearts and determination in their bones. Many ended up in Alaskan canneries, working brutal hours in freezing conditions for mere pennies. Others labored in Washington's farmlands, breaking their backs under the sun just to get by. The odds were stacked against them, but they didn't fold. These weren't just laborers, they were trailblazers. They built communities from the ground up, opened small businesses, stood up for their rights, laid the foundation that future generations would build on. They didn't just survive, they claimed their space.
Yo,
Fast
imagine being in a life like that, right? Where you're kind of having to start from the bottom completely, right? And I'm not saying like regularly starting from the bottom. I mean really the bottom in terms of like you have no family there. You kind of came by yourself with nothing else, and you have to just start from there as like an immigrant, for example. Like things like that I feel like are super, super powerful in a way because you quite literally have nothing to go on. And a lot of the time, right, even with me knowing experience of stuff like that, it's crazy to think about like ancestors back then who quite literally had nothing, like the definition of nothing, and just going to a foreign land and actually building something and how accomplishing that actually might feel, as well as, you know, just pushing forward and things like that. So seeing Filipinos having done that, of course, in a most beautiful fashion, you know, actually looking back and seeing how much growth they've done and how much potential they had and actually acted upon that is the most beautiful, most powerful thing that, you know, a human can even look at. It is extraordinary what they've done, bro. And even seeing those photos was absolutely beautiful. This is why I love history, right? Because you can see the stories of people who have done that, right? A story that you should never forget, something that should be powerful in a way for long-lasting years, bro. Long-lasting years.
forward
It's
to
beautiful.
today, and the Filipino presence in Seattle, it's everywhere. Nurses caring for patients in hospitals, entrepreneurs launching restaurants and tech startups, community leaders pushing for progress. Every corner of the city holds a piece of our story, Let me introduce you to one of those stories, a real one. Lolo Ben arrived in Seattle in the 1970s. One suitcase, no
See?
connections, just a dream.
That's what I mean.
Lolo Ben's journey. It's nothing short of incredible. He came to Seattle with nothing but a suitcase and a dream. He worked 3 jobs, crashed on a friend's couch,
Oh my.
and sent every last dollar he could scrape together back to the Philippines. For 10 years, he gave up everything for the future he envisioned. And then, he built an empire. It all started with a small sari-sari store. Then came a Filipino restaurant. And before long, there was a second
Holy
one.
moly, dude.
Fast forward to today, his family now owns 3 businesses, employs dozens of people, and carries on his legacy.
That is amazing.
But here's the thing, Lolo Ben's story isn't unique. It's the story of thousands of Filipinos in Seattle.
This is what I was talking about.
Sacrifice, hustle, success. And that's why this community isn't just scraping by, it's thriving. So why do Filipinos keep choosing Seattle? Job opportunities are endless here. Whether it's healthcare, tech, or business, Seattle offers one of the best job markets in the country, a true home away from home. With Filipino markets, churches, and community centers on nearly every corner,
Beautiful.
it's no surprise Seattle feels like the Philippines in so many ways. And the support network, unmatched. Whether you're looking for a job, a place to stay, or just a warm meal, there's always someone who has your back.
Yeah.
And let's be real, the food alone, totally worth staying for. If you haven't had a steaming plate of sisig from Hood Famous,
Guys.
or a bowl of pancit from Oriental
I'm going to go
Market,
just for that now.
you're seriously missing out on
Just for that.
Seattle's best-kept secret. Seattle isn't just a city, it's home to an entire Filipino community that's making waves, and they're not stopping anytime soon. But hold up, the next city on our list? It's even more packed than you can imagine. We're talking entire neighborhoods buzzing with life, streets lined with Filipino-owned businesses, and a community so tight-knit, it feels like you've stepped straight into Manila. San Jose? Seriously? This city, famous for its tech hype and startup dreams,
Wait.
is home to 142,000 Filipino Americans? That's wild. When you think of Silicon Valley, what comes to mind?
Yeah.
Google, Apple, Tesla, right? But Filipinos? In Silicon Valley? I had no idea. Here's the mind-blowing part. Filipinos aren't just existing in Silicon Valley. They're owning it. It's not about just surviving. They're out here crushing it. Let's talk about Ramon for a second. This guy landed in the US 10 years ago with nothing but a backpack and a dream.
I love
That's it.
stories like this, bro.
Now, he's leading a team at one of the biggest tech firms in the valley.
Consistency.
And get this, Ramon's not just another tech worker. He's one of the people literally shaping the future
Wow.
of technology. And guess what? He's far from alone. Filipinos here aren't just filling jobs, they're creating the future. Engineers, software developers, entrepreneurs, they're leading the charge in every way. This is a community full of doers, dreamers, and innovators. And here's the part that really hit me. San Jose isn't just about tech. It's a cultural phenomenon. Filipino restaurants, they're everywhere.
Yo, I
From
need
the
to
best
see these.
sinigang to the crispiest lechon, this city has flavors that'll make you feel right at home. Family-owned spots serving up some of the best
Oh.
lechon and halo
Oh
you'll
my-
ever taste. And don't even get me started on
What
the
was that?
fiestas. There's this pride in San Jose, Filipino pride, that's absolutely
I know that was Halo Halo, but like that looked incredibly good. Like way too good. Like what version of it is this? Is this like a I mean, this literally looks like it, but in a different glass almost. Because when I was in the Philippines, I was used to it in like in almost like a bowl kind of thing. But this looks crazy. Please tell me the restaurant that has that. Please, someone tell me.
pride in San Jose, Filipino pride that's absolutely contagious. Karaoke on every corner, with people singing their hearts out like they're on stage at a concert. It's a celebration of family, culture, and success, all rolled into one vibrant, unforgettable experience. And here's the kicker. I was totally blown away to learn that San Jose is now one of the top cities for Filipino immigrants,
my
making
goodness.
it big in the tech world. Who knew, right? This city is bursting with opportunities. It's more than just a place, it's a launch pad for the next generation of Filipino professionals. San Jose is fast becoming a Filipino powerhouse, and honestly, I didn't see it coming. But if you're still sleeping on this city, well, you're about to get left behind. Trust me, this is just the beginning. Smash that like button, because the next city is going to blow your mind. Stick with me, because we're just getting started. Wait, Las Vegas? I never would have guessed that Sin City, of all places, is home to a jaw-dropping 148,000 Filipino Americans. That's huge, but here's the crazy part. Filipinos aren't just living in Las Vegas. They're running the show behind the scenes. Think about it. The glitz, the glamour, the billion-dollar casinos. Behind every shining
Don't tell me they own a
and
casino,
high-stakes poker table, Filipinos are the ones making it all tick.
What?
Hotels, restaurants, entertainment venues, they wouldn't even function without them. And once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Take Lisa, for example. She came to Vegas with zero connections and barely any cash, just hoping to find a job. Fast forward a few years, and she's not just working at a casino, she's running the floor,
Dude.
calling the shots, and making major moves in an industry that's usually dominated by big-time power players. And Liza's not alone. Thousands of Filipinos have worked their way up, turning what started as just a paycheck into full-on thriving careers. But here's the part that really blew my mind. Las Vegas feels like a Filipino city in disguise. Walk through some neighborhoods and you'll find Filipino-owned bakeries selling fresh pandesal, restaurants
I
packed
need to
with
visit
people
these.
enjoying sinigang and lechon,
I can't
and
miss
gatherings
this.
where the karaoke is blasting.
Like truly.
The food never stops, and the feeling of home is unmistakable. Vegas isn't just a playground for tourists. It's a Filipino success story unfolding right in front of our eyes. And it's only getting bigger. The demand for skilled workers in hospitality, food service, and entertainment is skyrocketing.
Keyword, hospitality. Keyword.
And Filipinos are stepping up like never before. But here's the real shocker. There's a U.S. city where Filipinos are quietly taking over, and hardly anyone's talking about it. Stick with me, because what I'm about to reveal next is going to blow your mind. Smash that like button, trust me. You'll want to hear this. All right, real talk. If I blindfolded you, dropped you in the middle of San Diego, and asked you to guess where you were, you'd probably say somewhere in California, right? But what if I told you that in some parts of this city, you might think you just landed in Manila? Don't believe me? Head to National City. You'll see Jollibee, a Filipino supermarket, and at least 3 aunties arguing over the last bag of frozen bangus. It's wild. Here's the kicker. Over 202,000 Filipinos call San Diego home. That's not just a neighborhood. That's a whole Filipino nation, right here in California. But how did all these Filipinos end up here? The answer? The U.S. Navy. Let me introduce you to Tito Ben. This guy came to San Diego in the 80s with nothing but a duffel bag, a dream, and an undying love for karaoke. He joined the U.S. Navy, just like thousands of Filipinos before him, worked his way up, and eventually brought his entire family over. Now, he's retired and runs a Filipino food truck called Sarap to the Bone, and I promise you, he's still undefeated at every family karaoke night.
Hey, man.
And let's be real, Filipinos in San Diego, they thrive. You've got Filipino nurses, teachers, entrepreneurs, and probably at least one Tito who owns a mechanic shop but only takes cash. Now I got to ask, if you're Filipino and living in San Diego, where's the best place to eat? Drop your recommendations in the comments,
hey, man,
because I know you've got some strong opinions on this. Oh, and don't go anywhere. San Diego is huge, but there's another city where Filipinos have taken over even more. All right? Be honest. When you think of Honolulu, Hawaii, what pops into your head? Beaches?
Yeah.
Hula dancers? Maybe a pineapple in sunglasses? Well, here's something that'll totally blow your mind. Honolulu isn't just a tropical getaway for tourists. It's a full-on Filipino stronghold.
Oh, snap, bro.
Around 225,000 Filipinos call this place home.
You guys told me to visit there, too.
You heard that right.
Before.
That's not just a community. That's basically a Filipino province right in the middle of the Pacific. And if you've ever been to Waipahu, Kalihi, or Iwa Beach, You already know what I'm talking about. Step outside, and you'll see a taho vendor on the corner.
Oh my.
A Filipino bakery selling pandeso, and at least one Tito rocking his best going out slippers. You know the ones I mean, the fancy ones. Let me introduce you to Ate Maridez. She moved to Honolulu from Cebu in the late 90s, thinking she'd only stay for a year. Fast forward 25 years, and now she's got a house, 3 kids, a booming Filipino restaurant, and she still doesn't trust her youngest son to cook adobo the right way.
What?
But here's the kicker. Filipinos have been shaping Honolulu for over a century. They first came as plantation workers in the early 1900s, and now you'll find Filipinos everywhere, from healthcare to hospitality, business to government. Filipinos helped build this city, and their culture is woven into every corner. Heck, even Hawaiian pidgin has Tagalog words mixed
What?
in. Now let's settle an...
Yo, hold on. Yeah, that's actually funny. But truly, though, like, I'm not even going to lie, man. I think Filipinos are one of the most important key parts to getting the world to work. And I could say this, obviously, because not only when I visited the Philippines that I experienced such an incredible moment in time, like, I think that's another reason why this, like, kind of affects me even more in a beautiful way. Like, after having visited the Philippines myself in person, you see it for yourself, you know, the way that people treat you, the way that people are. And it just makes you have this almost undying love for that, because it's what they do for you too. It's that undying, like, respect and love. Like, I remember another story that I actually haven't ever told you guys was I gave like a giant like tip to a Grab driver, and he actually chased me. He's like, "Sir, like, you gave me like too much. Are you sure?" I was like, "Yes, that's all for you." He was like, "Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you so much, Paul." Like, he wouldn't stop thanking me. And obviously, I know it's fine to thank someone, but it was so, like, beautiful in a way that he didn't seem, like, arrogant about it. He didn't seem like, "Yeah, you better give me a tip or something," right? It was just, I just did it, right? And I didn't have to do it, but I always do it, right? Just out of just respect. And he was unbelievably grateful, and it was the most beautiful thing. I was like, "Sir, you know, like, of course, you deserve it." I just told him, "You deserve it. You know, like, you're doing this job, you're doing excellent." And he brought the food perfectly. Dude, it was just an unbelievable moment. I kind of feel like even that small little thing kind of shows you that, you know, Filipinos are unbelievably unmatched when it comes to hospitality, when it comes to being grateful for things. And it's so beautiful, bro. It's so beautiful, and I will never forget it. This is why they are the key importance to the world working, because they provide that remembrance of, hey, we're human beings and we should all treat each other like one. You know, let's really think about that for a second.
Age-old debate. Who has better BBQ Hawaii or the Philippines? Drop your answer in the comments.
The Philippines.
But please don't start a family war over
Yeah,
it.
please.
And if you thought Honolulu's Filipino community was massive, wait until you see what's coming next. Smash that like button and stick with me. You won't believe which US city is basically Little Manila. It's fast, loud, crowded, and smells like pizza,
New York.
ambition, and a little mystery street water all at once.
Let me see.
But you know what? Filipinos are thriving here. Over 237,000 Filipinos call New York City home. That's more people than entire islands in the Philippines.
One of you were too scared to come up to me there.
Honestly, Filipinos are everywhere here. Hospitals, Wall Street offices, Broadway theaters, and let's be real, you'll catch them in every bodega.
I saw so many of
asking,
them there.
"You got any rice?" Let me tell you about Kuya Jamar. He came to NYC from Quezon City with just $200, a suitcase, and a dream of making it big. The culture shock hit him hard. Everything was too fast, too expensive.
They are way too
and
fast
he nearly
there,
got
for sure.
taken out by a taxi on his very first day.
Yep.
But now he's a nurse by day, a DJ by night.
What?
And somehow still manages to squeeze in a trip to Jeepney or Maharlika for some late-night sisig. Now, let's talk about Filipino food. In NYC, it's on another level. You can grab LaShawn in Queens, Halo in the East Village. And if
hello,
you're
bro.
lucky, you might just stumble upon an underground balut dealer in Brooklyn.
What?
But here's the wildest part. There's even a Filipino parade in Manhattan.
Yes, I gotta see
That's
that.
right. Every year, Filipinos take over Madison Avenue.
I wanna see
like
that,
it's
bro.
a Manny Pacquiao fight night.
Yeah, genuinely, I wanna see that.
Representing their culture like champs. Now, I got to ask you, what's the best Filipino restaurant in NYC? Drop your recommendations in the comments.
That I wanna know
because
too.
You've got some strong opinions.
Please let me know.
But wait, before you go, why does San Francisco feel so Filipino? Think about it. Walk through Daly City, and what do you hear? A group of Tito's arguing about who makes the best lumpia. You walk into a bakery, and boom, the smell of fresh pandesal hits you. Hop on public transport, and you'll definitely hear someone FaceTiming their family back home at full volume. But here's the real kicker. Over 313,000 Filipinos call the Bay Area home, and they're not just hanging out. They've been here for generations, shaping the city's food, culture, and history. So why here? Let's rewind to the early 1900s, when Filipinos first arrived in San Francisco, looking for work, mostly in agriculture and service jobs. But the real explosion happened after World War II, when U.S. military veterans from the Philippines moved to the area. They didn't just settle, they built communities, started businesses, and let's be honest, probably kick-started California's first lechon supply chain. 2 words for you: Daly City. If you've never been, imagine a place where Jollibee is on speed dial, karaoke is a competitive sport,
Facts.
and Punta Cana means you've still got 30 minutes to get ready. And it's not just Daly City. South of Market, or Soma, is packed with Filipino roots. Historic spots like Bindlestiff Studio and the Filipino Cultural District keep the culture thriving. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Adobo Festival. Yeah, that's
There's an
a real
Adobo
thing.
Festival?
Now, quick question. If you could eat only one Filipino dish for the rest of your life, what would it be? And no, you can't say rice, that's cheating.
Yeah.
Drop your answer in the comments.
I'll say my answer right now. You want to know what it is? I would say only one. Sisig.
That like button and stay with me.
He's gonna keep
because
it real.
The next city on our
Can't
list
say rice.
is packed with even more Filipinos. You won't believe where it is. Here's a spoiler. If there's one city in the U.S. where you'll run into Filipinos at every corner, it's Los Angeles. Nearly 570,000 Filipinos live here.
Holy moly,
Let that
dude.
sink in. That's more than 500,000.
Yeah.
At this point, LA isn't just a city with Filipinos. It's basically Metro Manila with better freeways. So why Los Angeles? The answer's simple. Opportunity, community, and of course, Jollibee. Filipinos have been leaving their mark on LA for decades. It started with nurses and teachers, and today we've got entrepreneurs, entertainers, and influencers leading the charge. LA gives you jobs, sunshine, and enough Filipino restaurants to make you forget you're 7,000 miles away from home. So where do you find Filipinos
I'm gonna
in
go
LA?
back, bro, to the
Let's
Philippines.
start with historic Filipino town, or Hi-Fi, as the locals call it. It's the heartbeat of Filipino culture in the city, packed with markets, community centers, and enough Turan, Filipino sweet snacks, to fuel an entire basketball team. Then there's Eagle Rock, Carson, and West Covina, all thriving with Filipino families, businesses, and some of the best lechon kawali you'll find outside
Please let me
the
get a bite
Philippines.
right now.
And let's not forget the entertainment scene. Whether it's singers, actors, or YouTubers, Filipinos are dominating LA's entertainment industry.
I love seeing the growth, man. I love it. Yo, absolutely enjoyed that video, man. But really, link me in the comments from all of these places if you guys are there and what are the best Filipino food spots. Because when I travel to these places in the US, I want to make sure to visit these Filipino spots, bro. Just so I can get a bite of that Philippines. You know, I just want that, you know, especially when it's nearby. But I will be going to the Philippines anyways, eventually again. By the way, I already went, but I want to go again and see even more places and try it even more there. But in the meantime, any of these US places I could try, you guys let me know. But I love this video. Thank you guys for linking it over, and thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Hey, if you liked it, leave a like. If you loved it, subscribe. If you want more, let me know down in the comments below. And yeah, till next time, guys. Peace. How good you been living? Wait, how good you been living? I've been living too good for you. I've been living too. Did what I did and I do it again. Every move that I make, I ain't feeling repent. Nobody believes to believe it's a friend, and you question your moves like you really won't end.